Good morning. So nice to have you watching on yet another splendid day here in the Tennessee Valley. No matter the weather, it's always a good place to call home. And 3+U is so lucky to come your way every day because we have a chance to kind of showcase the different parts of our entire community and what makes our fabric such a rich one. We're talking this morning with Linda Lavanne, who used to be a pretty frequent guest on the show. Glad to have her back. She is the executive director of So Lit, and she has brought one of many Chattanooga authors with her, Audrey Cowan. So nice to have you both.
Thank you for having us.
I think it's just really interesting to have talked to you over the years, Linda, because you do see a lot of kind of, I don't know, energetic and out there organizations in Chattanooga that are very visual. When it comes to So Lit, to me, y'all have quietly been working, but diligently behind the scenes to showcase these authors, often regional, but now you're having a chance coming up this month to showcase all local Chattanooga authors. Did you ever think you'd have this many?
Well, we are just inundated with great writing talent in Chattanooga and the surrounding areas. There were just a lot of great authors who've been published, who have self-published, and we really wanted to introduce them to the community and have a way to support them. It
might be that with this showcase that we'll talk about, your audience will be an even wider one to pull from, because I wonder with COVID, if people begin to pick up pen and paper to kind of journal their own thoughts to get them through it.
Yes, people really read a lot more during COVID and also wrote and journaled about a lot. And we're now seeing some books come out that have taken place during the COVID as a setting.
All right, so Audrey Cowan, let's bring you into the conversation because you came our way by UTC. Luckily for us, you stayed all these years, but you never thought you would be an author, and yet here you are with this series that's much loved here in town.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's true. I think that a lot of people are born writers but don't really think of themselves that way.
So your series is the Ivy Nichols, is that right, Mystery series?
That's right, the Ivy Nichols Mysteries.
And I would have thought, because I have not read them, I'm embarrassed to admit, but I have not read them, so I thought for a minute that perhaps they were aimed at middle school readers or something, but no, they're adult mysteries set right here in Chattanooga.
That's right, they're adult, but they're not gritty. You know, and actually my son was 9 when the first book came out and enjoyed them very much, but it's got sort of a charming appeal the way that Agatha Christie does. I hope that's the style I'm sort of aiming at.
Okay, I'm going to get on the edge of my seat then if you're going to say it's like Agatha Christie. That's a good comparison. So you have kind of an array of people though. I mean, even poetry is going to be at this showcase coming up on August, is it 25th?
The August 25th at 6 o'clock, and we have 9 authors, and there are a lot of different genres represented. So we have poetry, short story, memoir, fiction, nonfiction, young adult, children. So we wanted a nice variety, for something for everyone.
I had asked Audrey if she and the other authors were friends, and she said some of them were, but for many of them there that evening, it will be their first chance to meet.
Yes, I think there's a nice literary community in Chattanooga, but not everyone knows everyone.
Is it intended to be a fundraiser for you, Linda?
It is not a fundraiser. The event is actually free. We encourage donations, but it's just a way to introduce people to So Lit, as well as the great authors in our community, and provide some support for them.
You know, it's interesting to me, Audrey, there are a lot of musicians in this neck of the woods, and we'll jokingly say, what's in the dirt here that breeds all of these. But there is something about the South that seems to be an author's well, in a way. There's just so much to pull from.
Oh, that's true. It's a rich culture, and I think that we have a past in the South of some deep pain, and also of a lot of beauty and resiliency, and I think those things play really well on the page.
In terms of you and the way your books came to be published, do you mind me asking who your publisher is?
Not at all. My publisher is Crooked Lane. They're a crime publisher in New York, and they've been around for maybe 5-6 years, not that long, but really talented, dedicated staff there.
So how many books are in the series for you?
2 so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you've been writing them for how long? I know you said your son was 9.
He was 9 when, yeah, so actually he wasn't 9 when it came out, but maybe when I finished it. So the first one came out in 2020, which was, you know, a great year to release a book.
So you're one of those COVID success stories that you were talking about,
Well,
right?
maybe. Yeah.
So you've got 2 books then in 2 years. Are you spending all day writing? What's your discipline like?
You know, my discipline's not been great this year, but usually when I'm in a more disciplined state, it's every day. Yeah, it's an everyday, all day thing, and I think that's the only way that you finish a long work like a novel.
When I talk to entertainers, you know, musicians and actors, they feed off of an audience there. Writing is a bit more introspective, but do you think that the authors are going to really appreciate an audience, if you will, that evening?
I think so. I think authors enjoy talking to people who've read their books or are interested in their books, because they don't always get a chance to know how people respond to their writing.
Right.
So we love to have authors in, so there can be some conversation too about the book and their work.
Will there be any of their books for sale that evening? Will they be?
Every author will have their books there for sale.
Okay.
So we will be supporting them that way. We also are at Stoveworks Art Gallery, so there's a great new exhibit, and we have music. So it's just going to be a fun reception sort of thing, and intermittently we will have an author read from their work.
What a wonderful evening. Well, thank you both so much, and I guess we'll watch for the 3rd book to come out soon. Audrey, you're on a roll.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
So you can go, it is the Author Showcase, the Chattanooga Author Showcase. 9 authors, as Linda said, from here covering a range of genres. Stoveworks Museum on East 13th Street is the place to be.
Yes, their 14th is the entrance though.
Okay, we'll be specific. And is it still southernlitalliance.org?
Yes, that is our
your website.
long name,
All
and
right.
that's where we are.
Thank you both so very much.
Thank you.
Technology is everywhere. Count on Local 3 News to help you get the most of it. Ways to make life easier, save some money, and protect your